All right. So I'm literally starting this recording. I'm getting off of the hot thing. Just did a big ass comment. I'm going back and forth with this new YouTuber I found called the Anomaly Trader. He claims that he was in private institutional trading for 10 years and that he came into this YouTube space so that he could help better educate like the common folk. And he's charging like minimum $700, I think. 997 pounds. Maybe that's more than $700. I'm kind of stupid that way. I always have to look up currency value differences. Anyway, today we're talking about dealing with failure. Number one, it's going to take a lot of time. That amount of time that it takes to deal with failure is going to minimize the more you deal with it and how you deal with it. If every time you fail, if every time you blow an account, you rage out, you crash out, you go reset 5 times in a day. And I've never done that, by the way. I have reset twice in a day. I've never reset like 3, 4, 5. I saw someone reset 20 times in a day, and at that point my brother, just buy a bigger account. Like, you would have saved more money in the long run, Kennel. uh it's a matter of the individual and how the individual deals with failure. The better you deal with failure, the more that you can extrapolate from it. Education. Oh fuck, that sounded so stupid. The more you can extrapolate from it informationally, the better it's going to be for you, so you can learn more from it. And with time, you can gap those learning curves quicker and quicker than other people because you're focused. You're actively learning. You're actively listening, actively learning, actively informing. I don't know, just being an active individual. You don't want to be passive. Passive people don't trade well. You know, in my opinion, even those guys who like throw on a trade, it's, here's how I put it. Like, they actively work to get to that point, and now they've earned the right to be passive. Initially, passive traders don't do well. Things aren't just gonna come to you. You have to make the money move. You know what I'm saying? You're like, the money's gonna be moving. You gotta move it into your pocket. It's always gonna be going somewhere. So in between those failures, you're gonna want to store your energy. Um, and for me, that basically means like, bide your time. Within that, make a new plan. You know, formulate something you can do different for the next time you have the same problem. Even if you deal with it the same way like I do, oftentimes I have a hard time taking losses. I'm really, really bad at taking a fucking loss, and it bothers me so much I can't even explain it. I can make the money, but God, if I don't just give it away, like I'm Bill Gates, I don't fucking know what I'm doing more than half the time still. So it's pretty embarrassing. So in that process, I like to make a plan. I make a new plan, and I try and draft rules that I really can't navigate from. Like, if I were to navigate from those rules, it would be so detrimental to the progress that I've made, in my confidence and in my discipline, that it would just regress me. And I'm not looking for regression. I really need to. I'll try to speed this up as fast as I can. I don't want to take 5 or 4 years. I'm trying to get this done this year. April 2025 will be my confirmed second year day trading, on evaluations and fees and whatever, with prop firms and whatnot. I have day traded options before. That didn't go terribly well. That was in 2020, 2021. I took a big gap midway through 2022 into 2024 or 2023, right? Yeah, it's been a year already, so 2 years to 2023. Yeah, took a gap in 22, 20 to 21. Those are all options trading. Got into GameStop, tripled my money, made like $5,000. Fucking pulled out 1K and then lost the rest. It just felt like shit, and I don't know. I was hooked. Obviously, I'm already an addict in a lot of ways, so why wouldn't that just hook its fucking teeth into me? And when it comes to that, it takes a lot of time dealing with the failure, making a new plan, saving your energy so that you don't fucking. I'm not gonna. So that you don't explode, so that you don't burn out. You really don't want to burn out in this career because you lose money, you lose experience, you lose education, and time is something you absolutely can't get back. It's the most valuable thing we can use. So if you're tired, sleep. If you're hungry, eat. If you need to use the restroom, go to the fucking bathroom, dude. Do the things you need to do. Drink water. That's something I need to do right now. Like, I want to take a sip of water right now. When you've made that new plan, you're going to want to press your advantage or find your edge. Find your advantage within your plan. That's part of drafting your plan. Once you found that, you need to press it. When you know you do well, only trade in those specific times if you can. If you can have the patience to do that, I think that's best for you. Example, for me, I trade great at Asian Open, London Open, New York Open, and New York Close. So I really need to think about only trading those primarily. Unless it's a trending day and you catch a lucky one early and you ride that all the way up or down, then that's great. Hold it if you can through all the waves. But if you're doing I don't know, if you don't have a great entry for a trending day, then it's best for me if I can trade those first hours and last hours of every session. I tend to do well. I think it's just because of the volatility. I started with the options day trading. I was doing 0 DTEs like out the gate. It was awesome. I got a couple thousand percenters and I was like, wow, this is gonna be my life. And I burnt all my money. It's one of those. I didn't have a lot of money to burn. I only had $2,000 at that point, and it was already in Robinhood. Yes, I was using Robinhood. It was fine to me. Everybody uses it. Fuck off. Once you find your edge, you're gonna want to execute, and all that means is click those fucking buttons. Get in there and start clicking buttons. If it's going up, you think it's gonna keep going up, click that button. Buy. If it's short, do whatever you think is best, but you're gonna need to start fucking putting in that implicit learning. You're gonna need to put your hand on the mouse or the trackpad, what have you, the ball thing if you're a freak, and press your advantage, execute your edge. And then once you have one of those days again, because you'll probably trade well for 2 or 3 days after the reset, you'll get too cocky or you'll get too stable and you'll get bored. You're gonna fuck up and you're gonna fail, and you're gonna need to go right back to the beginning and you're gonna go, hey, it takes time, doesn't it? It takes a lot of time. Dealing with failure takes time because it's a cycle. You're never gonna not fail if you're someone who's trying to do new things, if you're trying to succeed, and that's in the realm of your own life. If you're just trying to succeed within your own life and do new things, you are going to have to fail. Failure is your friend is something I'm trying to learn right now. I have a hard time internalizing that and really valuing it though as a core idea. I've been making music for like low-key 10 years and I haven't put out a single song. Like I've done little snippets and TikToks and silly stuff here and there, verses and whatever, but I have never done like an actual song. And it grinds my gears. It's something I'm going to change this year because you got to get out there, you got to fail. And if I can do this and I've lost so much money, then what's the big deal in losing more? In terms of my pride money, my pride bucks, my pride pesos. I'll do it. I think a big part of failing in day trading though is that you can just lie and hide it. It's a lot harder when you put out a song and it fucking sucks and no one listens to it. It's like, oh wow. Ugh, wish I didn't do that. That's embarrassing. Can't take that one back. But if you take a trade and you're not trading live and it just fucking blows, then well, come on. What do you think? You just hide it. Just lie. Just say, oh, that was an eval account, or my cat was throwing up and I didn't notice. And just say whatever you want out of your ass because most day traders are liars. Hey, this is another thing, guys. Stop buying courses. Don't buy any fucking courses, you idiots. I'll see you next.